Hello there. This hour on Verbling, the next in my speaking skills series, we're continuing our unit on mingling. We're going to be talking about not just how to mingle and what you can say when you mingle, we'll be doing some mingling. And this week, we're going to try to pick up a new skill specifically. Well, more about that in just a minute. We'll go into detail. First, a little bit about me. I'm Jon-Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, hanging out in Lisbon, Portugal to bring you this class. By the way, here are 3 quick rules to help you participate. Don't forget to turn off, tune in, and open up. That means please turn off your microphone when you're not speaking so we can keep the classroom nice and quiet. Also, turn off your microphone now if you don't mind, please. Also, tune in to the new words you're learning. Use them actively so that I can correct you and give you feedback. Finally, open up to your classmates. Relax and have fun. We're all here to learn, and this is a safe and respectful place to practice your English. And now, I'm going to share with you our document. I guess some of you don't want to turn off your microphones, but that's all right. There you go. So when you open that link, you will see this, and you know you're in the right place. I haven't actually added the material yet, so as we do the class, I'm going to be adding material because I want to introduce it in stages. So I'm just going to add a little bit at a time, and then so it might be a good idea if you open this in your browser so that it can update. Okay, but I'll try to share my screen as well. And where are we going to go? Let's go down here. I think I've updated this. We're going to be doing anecdotes, telling a personal story. So we've been networking and mingling, exchanging business cards, talking about social etiquette in the unit before. So now we're going to be telling stories, personal stories, that you might talk about when you meet someone for the first time in a business setting. And we're going to update our skills, our how-to section as well. So let's get started. Hopefully there'll be some people joining us. There should be a lot of people joining us. Where is everyone? This time of year is a little strange. Everyone likes to sleep late. But not you, Daniel. You're here.
Yes, more or less, I'm here.
You're an example to the rest. And Vincenzo, you're here, so both of you are here. That's good. So let's see where we can start here. Okay, we're going to start here. How are we going to do this? Yeah, let's start here. How am I going to do this here? Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of background, and then we're going to look at some key phrases. So, there's my background. There we go. So, Daniel, since you were the first one I saw, I'm going to ask you, if you don't mind, just to read the introduction here and set the tone for the lesson.
Okay. At first, you might wonder what storytelling has to do with business. But if you are ever involved in corporate entertainment, you are sure to find yourself spinning a yarn or two over dinner or drinks. What's more, storytelling is increasingly used in business presentation and by business leaders as a way of engaging, motivating, and influencing an audience.
Very good. Spinning a yarn. I just added a link. So if you click on that blue link, it'll open up in a new tab. I'm not using my favorite dictionary for the moment, but anyway, just to quickly add something.
It's ugly.
Yeah. I don't really like this one, but anyway, just to be quick about it. Grandpa spun an unbelievable yarn for all of us. So, Daniel, can you think of a substitute for spin a yarn based on that
Telling all histories,
history or story?
stories,
Stories, right.
stories.
Spin a yarn is like to tell a long, sometimes unbelievable story.
Ah,
Okay, very good. Let's say hello to, is it Lipe? Lipe Nunes, is that right?
Yes, yes, that's right.
Fantastic. Where are you from, Lipe?
I'm from Brazil.
From Brazil. So it's Lipe, isn't it?
Yes,
Like from Philippe.
yes, exactly like this. But my name is really Lip, not
Oh,
Philip.
it's really Lipe. Okay.
Yes,
You're the first Lipe I've met. Nice to meet you. Um,
me too.
so we're going to be working on storytelling, telling a personal anecdote. Daniel just set the tone for us. And now I'm going to start by, I just want you to be aware of some of the language you can use when telling a story. So what I'm going to do is introduce a structure and some key language. And I think we're just going to read through it for the beginning. Then we're going to use it in an activity. So the structure I'm going to give you is something like this. Give me a second here. Let's say, yeah. Let's say we have to open the conversation. So so I'm going to put a bunch of openers. These are key phrases for anecdotes. So let's say we've got phrases we'll use to start our story, our openers. Phrases we'll use to give a context. Phrases we'll use to introduce the action of a story. What happens, in other words. What happens? Whoops. There we go. And finally, the reactions. How did you feel when that action happened? Saying something important, so we have emphasis. And of course, ending, so we'll call these closers. Okay, so I'm going to try to give some input into new language here. And we're just going to start by reading some examples, and you can add some of your own as well. Give me just a second to set this up. There we go. All right. So let's start with a few openers. And I think what we're going to do is just kind of go around the room, read through these, let me hear your pronunciation, and then we'll see if there's anything that we can add to them. But these are just a few that I came up with earlier. Let me just see if I got everything right. Get that here. Sorry, the formatting is not perfect. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah, okay. So let's just go around the room, read through these, and tell me if they're familiar. If you can't see this, you need to open it in your computer. I see some of you straining. So don't strain. Open this using the link that I gave you. And if you can't see the link, I'll post it in the group chat as well. Okay? Because unfortunately, I can't really change the size easily. I can make it just a little bit bigger. No, I can't even do that, honestly. No, I can't make it any bigger. It just won't fit on the screen. So please open it in your computer by using the links in the chat window if you can't see it, okay? Okay, so let's go around the room and just take one. Everyone take one, okay? So it's going to be in the order that I see you. Daniel, Khalid, Lipe, and Vincenzo. Let's just go around the room and read them off, and then I may ask you a question or two so that I know that you know what they are. Okay, Daniel, take the first one for us.
Guess guess what happened to me guess what happened to me the other day? I was walking through the airport when I saw none other than George Clooney.
Really? That's
Yeah,
amazing.
it was.
This actually happened to me. Do you know that? I wasn't in the airport, but I was in Italy, and George Clooney was about to get married.
Having a coffee.
No, he was there for his wedding, and
Ah,
they were preparing everything. It was really annoying, actually. There was blocking of traffic. The Grand Canal in Venice was completely like blocked with full of little boats and things like that.
bad day to visit Venice.
What's that?
Bad day for visit Venice. Venice.
Uh-huh. It was in Venice, yeah. Um, the key word here is going to be guess what happened. Guess what happened the other day. I'm gonna every time when I'll put these in bold. Okay. So Khalid, can you read the B for us?
Okay.
Go for it.
Uh, I will. I'll never forget the time when I got the boss kissing the new secretary.
You could probably make a lot of money off of that story, Khalid.
if I mean record video for that, I will put it in YouTube, of
There you
course.
go. There you go. It'll go viral. Okay, Lipe, let's read C.
A funny thing happened last week. I was thinking about a friend I haven't seen for years, and all of a sudden the phone rang, and it was her.
There you go. All of a sudden. All of a sudden. You can also say all of the sudden. Both are okay. All of a sudden.
All of a sudden.
Okay, very good. And this one, Vincenzo, for D. Are you there, Vincenzo? Can't hear you.
I was muted.
Oh, okay.
And I told you about the time when Bill Gates came to visit our company?
No, you didn't. Tell me all about it.
Yes.
How was it? Good?
Yes,
All right.
it was very good.
And I think we're back to Daniel for E.
You won't believe that I've just done.
You
I mean,
won't believe. Say again?
you won't believe what I've just done.
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 Yeah, not don't, but done.
Done. I meant to send my friend a photo of me in a bikini,
Really?
and I accidentally emailed it to the boss.
Wow, Daniel. You really ought to be careful with that.
Big mistake.
I'm a pretty girl. No problem.
Okay. Is there anything else we could add, just out of curiosity? Any other ideas for openers? Well, actually, think about it, because we've got a lot of language just to get through. But if there's anything else, let me know, and maybe we can add it to this. I'm going to give you 5 phrases for each of these. Well, maybe not 5. Context, I have actually a little bit less. And after we go through, maybe I'll give you just 3 or 2 or 3, because it will take too long otherwise. So here at context, I think Khalid, you're up.
Okay. It's quite few years ago now, but I can still remember it. It was the morning of my first ever job interview.
Mm-hmm. It was quite a few years ago. We're setting the context. Context means the information the listener needs to understand your story. Here, the context is time. They're just introducing an idea in time. Okay, and Lipe, let's try B.
Uh, have I told you about the time when I rescued a boy from drowning?
Drowning.
Drowning. I was working as a lifeguard at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It
So another time reference here. Okay, and
seems an opener, teacher. It seems.
yeah.
Have I told you about what is it? The
Hmm?
question. The question is an
Oh,
opener.
have I told you about? Yeah, but the key words there are in bold. So at the time,
Yeah.
I was working a lifeguard at the time. So giving a time reference, giving the context. And
Yeah.
Vincenzo, why don't you take C for us?
Yes. Why? Why back when I was marketing assistant, there was no such thing as email.
Mm-hmm.
Why back
Way or why? Why or
Why?
way?
I thought that I can see. Oh, way. Wow.
Way back then.
Way back when I was marketing assistant, there was no such thing as email.
That's it.
I can't understand very well.
It's a good idea to open this in your browser because it's hard for me to make it
Yes.
any bigger, okay?
Yes.
All right. In this next set, I'm going to ask you to guess one of the words. Or I'm going to try my best to do this. So give me just a second because I don't want you to see this as I copy and paste it. So hang on just a second here. Actually, you probably can see this. Oh no, even if I turn on my camera, it won't matter because I'll have the document open. Hang on a second. Let me try this again. That's not going to work. Oh, I know what I'll do.
Oh, yes.
I copy and paste this to a text document first. Because what I want to do is I want you to fill in a missing word. So let's do it like this. Give me a second here. I'm going to give you a blank. In this case, just a second here. Okay, fine. Okay, I got it now. So I want you to make an educated guess when you see these, but I will put the keyword in bold so you can see what we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and there we go. So now we're introducing the action of the story. We're introducing action, picking out one important word for you to try to guess. Okay? So we're back to Daniel for A. This one should be pretty familiar, I think.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I was quietly minding my own business when all of a there was a big bang.
Quite mind.
So what's missing?
All of a time? No.
No. Did this happen?
All of a sudden.
I'm hearing muttering out there. What's the muttering? Do you have it?
No.
Did this happen expectedly or unexpectedly?
Unexpectedly.
Okay, so you got the right idea. Did it happen?
Sudden. All of a sudden.
There you
All
go.
of a sudden.
All of a sudden, there was a big
All of a sudden.
bang.
All
A
of
big
sudden.
bang means like an explosion or a loud noise.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Khalid,
No,
let's try. Let's try B.
B. I had finished my work and was about to put my coat on. Then the phone rang.
Mm-hmm. So do you think this meaning is similar to all of a sudden, or do you think it's different based on the sentence?
Yes, it's. mm, I think on the same maybe.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
on
it's a synonym for all of a sudden, but it's not the same word. So
yeah.
same idea but different word. Blank then,
Suddenly, no, not suddenly.
a word that means precisely at that moment. I'll give you a clue. I'll give you the first letter.
What is it? It's an I.
That is not an I.
J.
Give up?
J.
Or do you got it?
Just.
Just, maybe. Not unjust, it's not. Unjust?
Just.
Just then, yeah, okay.
Just here is an adverb. That means precisely at that moment. Okay?
One of the word more used.
Yeah, it's a common word.
Just.
So I'm not giving you any surprises here. But what I am trying to give you is some high frequency words or expressions, common things we would say. Okay? And Lipe, let's do C. And we're about halfway through our input. Then we'll see if we can use these to tell a story. So go for it, Lipe.
Okay. I was chatting to Jeff, who seemed absolutely fine, went out of the
Blank. Blank is spasso. Went out of the blank.
blank. He dropped down dead from a heart attack. Dropped down dead from a heart attack.
Poor Jeff, huh?
Yeah.
So again, it's the same as before. It means suddenly, but we're going to use a different expression. I think in Portuguese you have an expression, something about the air. I can't remember what it is though. Something like, I can't remember the expression in Portuguese. Anyway, you have the same expression though. Not the same word.
Okay.
I can give you a hint. There's the first letter.
How many letters?
There. You got three spaces.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Best? No.
Nah. Someone help him out. Out of the class. Help him out.
I don't know.
No one? Really?
Could be back? No.
Back? Not back.
Not back.
Out of the back, he dropped dead from a heart attack. It doesn't sound good. It's an expression which means suddenly. I'll give you a hint. You look up in the sky, and suddenly, I don't know, a UFO appears. That's your hint. You look up in the sky. We also have another expression which is out of thin air. Means the same thing. Kind of, the point is, something appears by magic.
Blue?
That's it.
Blue, yes, blue.
Out of the blue is correct. When out of the blue, he dropped dead from a heart attack. It was horrible. In the interest of time, I think I'm just going to give you maybe just 2 or 3 in each. And these you won't be able to guess. They're a little bit too difficult. So we're only going to read through maybe the first 2 or 3 of these. I want to give them to you here, make sure that they're more or less clear. Here's the first group. Whoops. So the part in bold is the part that expresses how you feel.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's keep reading through these. Vincenzo, can you read A for me?
Yes. All of a sudden, there was a big bang. I jumped out of my skin.
That's right. I jumped out of my skin. So how do you think you felt if you jumped out of your skin? How did you feel? What do you think?
Something it's very difficult to express, teacher. Something jumped out of my skin. Was very shocked.
Exactly. Yeah.
Shocked
There you go.
that something that you go out from your skin.
Right.
You
were shocked. But that's it. That's it. You were shocked.
Yes, shocked.
That's exactly the right idea. Okay, Daniel, B?
My colleague came to work wearing these hilarious new glasses. I'm afraid I burst out laughing.
Burst out laughing. How did you feel?
Ridiculous.
You felt ridiculous, or you felt ridiculous?
No.
What do you mean? You felt ridiculous, or he looked ridiculous? How did you feel?
I don't know.
Daniel?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know how you felt?
What
if
I
you,
felt.
If you burst out laughing, you don't know how you felt? You felt that it was...
okay.
Because you didn't just laugh.
To giggle.
Yeah, but stronger than a giggle, because you burst out laughing.
Out of control.
Out of control, that's it. Yeah. I was laughing uncontrollably. I burst out laughing.
Without control.
Okay? And Khalid, see?
See, I thought I heard someone creeping about downstairs. I was frozen to the spot. It means I shocked and I was very frightened.
Shocked, you said?
Yes, and very frightened.
And feel? Fighting?
Frightened.
Frightened. Got it. Yes.
Frightened, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. So afraid that you couldn't move. So afraid you couldn't move. Okay, and Lipe D?
I realized that my skirt was caught in my underwear, and everybody was looking at me.
You're probably a woman in this scenario, just so you know.
Sorry?
You're probably a woman in this scenario because you're wearing this. Okay.
Yes. I went bring red. I wanted
bright.
Right. I went bright red. I wanted the ground to swallow me up.
Right. So how did you feel? You're right. How did you feel, Lipe?
Embarrassing.
Embarrassed. Embarrassed.
Embarrassed.
Okay. Maybe I can start to put these. Embarrassed. Okay, so you're absolutely right. And here we said frightened. Right? Okay. Whoops. Guess who'd be good? Oh, you got to fix your microphone there, Raphael, because we're getting a lot of breathing. Raphael. Raphael? Raphael? Hello, Raphael? Raphael? I guess he doesn't hear me.
He's
Can you?
breathing.
I know. Raphael, can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
He's sleeping.
Okay, I don't know what's happening. Okay, so I'm just going to put in the things that you said afterwards. Here, like we said, laughing uncontrollably. Okay. That's it. Whoops. Sorry about that. Okay, and finally, jumped out of my skin. We said shocked, surprised, that kind of thing. Okay? So I'm going to...
Astonished. No. No.
Yeah, not astonished, because astonished you wouldn't be startled. Maybe we could say startled.
It's something from the skin. Something from the skin. It's very difficult to define it.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say astonished, because astonished doesn't mean that you're not. There's not that.
It's not something about your skin.
Astonished is something that you could think about intellectually. You'd be astonished.
Yes.
Right?
I know.
Okay. All right. And I don't know what happened. Maybe some people are having trouble with the Hangout, because I saw Raphael come and go and Yuki come and go. Today, I know there were a lot of updates. So where are we? And Vincenzo, you're going to do E for us?
Yes. Ruth told me that she earns over $100,000. My jaw dropped. I couldn't believe my ears.
So here we could use that word you said before, couldn't we?
Yes. There is an H in my more H in H. Okay, my ears.
So here we could use what you said before. We could use astonished here.
Yes. Sometimes I'm going to put an H.
There we
my
go.
My ears. Yes.
So you're surprised.
In this
you're
case,
astonished.
It's something like paralyzed, no? When you
no. The word you used before was perfect. Astonished fits here.
In this case, your jaw is going down, so you're a kind of paralyzed. Paralysis.
Okay, very good.
Paralysis from your jaw, no? In your jaw.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the last one. I'll do this one. I nearly died. I nearly died when I found out how much the hotel room cost. Again, this is like what we did before. Shocked.
Nearly died.
I nearly died. Okay. I want to see if we can do a little work with these. We've got lots and lots of expressions here. Some of these might be new. But what I want to do is I'm just going to read through the last few so that you have them. And then we'll see if we can put them into use in this activity we're going to do. Let me just get this lined up right. 1 second. Okay. So, emphasis. The key words here are, believe it or not, top it all, and you should have seen it. Adding emphasis to being expressive. In closers, you can read the examples on your own if you like. I just want to cut this a little short so we can actually do some speaking. So I'm just going to highlight the main phrases. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I ended up. We have another anyway here. Anyway, it turned out all right. It turned out well. It turned out badly. Whatever. So it turned out. And then finally, this what felt like hours later, what felt like an eternity, what felt like. So the point is, the closers are there to bring the anecdote to an end, to summarize, or to get to the main point. All of this we're going to be using. I'm gonna test you on it a little bit as well. So what I'm going to do is ask you to put an anecdote in order, and I want you to use those keywords as a guide. Okay, so you're going to see this, what I'm going to write here, exercise 1. Exercise 1, put an anecdote in order. And there is your anecdote. Okay, take a minute, read through it on your own, and then I'd like one of you, maybe, to give me your version, and we'll see if the rest of the class agrees. I'll make this.
Do you mean immediate?
So read through it on your own first. Okay. Did everyone read through it? Everything is clear, more or less? Okay, if everything is clear, maybe we could each take 2 lines and see where we can put them in the story. So, Daniel, you want to start us off? Like we're obviously not going to begin with my jaw dropped, right? So, so Daniel, why don't you give us the first 2 lines? What do you think? And then we'll go back and we'll fix it if we need to. But let's give it a try.
Mm-hmm. Maybe C.
Oh, wait, hang on one second. Did I make a mistake here? I hope I didn't make a mistake. 1 second. I think I made a mistake. Uh-oh, I hope I didn't make a mistake. Yeah, I think there is a slight mistake here, which is I wanted to mix this up a little bit better than I did. So, Daniel, what do you think? Can we start with A, or do we need to change it?
I think with C.
Say it again?
I don't know, maybe C.
Well, let's look at A first. What's the key expression we learned earlier in A?
Have I told you? Have I told you? Have I told you about the time when?
Mm-hmm. I agree. So, is that think about those categories, because we have openers, context, introducing action, expressing feeling, emphasis, and closers. Is that an opener? Can we use it?
Yes, it's an opener.
We can. So this text should be in a different order, and in fact.
But I think it's more contents, right? Because it's like talk about time. In the opener, we need just to have I told you about the story about, right?
No, because time is not time on the calendar here. Time means an event. It's just an expression here.
Okay, thank you.
I think we can leave it. I think we can start. I don't know till we finish, but let's see. I sure hope I didn't make a mistake here, but anyway, the first one I think we can leave. So Khalid, what do you think would come after? And also identify the key expression.
Okay.
Can we go right to B?
It was way back.
You know what? I'm beginning to be suspicious that this anecdote is not out of order, which is really a problem. Hang on a second. Have I told you about the time when I found it?
Okay, I think it's C. It's better, maybe.
Let me just double check, because you know what? I'm beginning to be suspicious that this is not in the wrong order, and it's supposed to be. No, no, it is. It is. Okay. So, what would you say, Khalid? Sorry. So, have I told you about the time when I found 1,000 euros in the street? And then?
Maybe you can repeat, yeah?
Say again? Repeat? Say again, please? Hello, Khalid? I lost you?
I told you.
I'm here.
So, Khalid, which would you go with?
Hello? Me?
More or less. You're cutting out. So, give me the letter.
Okay, way back when I was a student on my way home from the neighbor club one night.
So, you want to go with B. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay, and the key expression would be? I can't hear you. Khalid, maybe you need to re-enter the Hangout, because we definitely can't hear you. You're cutting out. Okay, so let's do it like this. When we're adding context, one of the key expressions we used was way back when. So we've got that here. I'll put it in blue so you can see it. You know what? I'm not seeing anything out of order so far, so there seems to be something wrong with my activity because this is supposed to be in the wrong order, and it looks like it's in the right order. Can you just mute your mic if your phone is going to ring like that, if you don't mind? There we go. Now that I look at this, I don't see any problem with the order, so I think there's a mistake in the material, which makes me angry. Let's see. I was hurrying home in the freezing cold when all of a sudden. So we're starting the action, right? Yep, my mistake. This is already in the right order because we go right to introducing the action. All right, so never mind. You don't have to put it in order. This is a mistake. It should be in the wrong order, and it's not. My fault. But in my defense, it said to put the anecdote in order, so I thought it was out of order. So this is actually just an example. I apologize. So actually what we've got here is this. We've got the opener. I can put it here like this. The opener. Our context. Introducing our action here. And then here. I stood wondering where it had come from. Believe it or not, more and more banknotes disappeared. I'm sorry, appeared. Okay, what's our there we go. What's our key expression here from before? You recognize any key expressions in sentence D, class? Can anyone hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. So in D, what's our key expression that we recognized from earlier?
It had come from when?
Is that our key expression?
I don't know.
You got to take a look up here. So quickly skim through openers, context, introducing action, how did you feel,
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
emphasis, closers. It's going to be one of those. Okay?
Okay, okay.
So here the key expression is what?
How do you feel?
No? You mean, I'm sorry, how did you feel? What's our key expression? You're talking about the category, that's okay, but what's the actual expression? Identify that first in D.
Okay.
By the way, I'm talking to all of you, so any one of you can answer.
Okay.
Okay, if you don't know, skip it. Just come back to it. In E, the key expression is already there. E is the key expression, right? What's the category in E? It's not an opener, so
How did you feel?
we'll call this feeling here. Expressing emotion. Okay, in F, quickly I picked up the money and took it home. Well, I don't know if that really fits any of the key expressions we have. It's just, no, not really. Okay. In G, the next day, however, I felt terribly guilty about keeping the money. Anyway, to cut a long story short, in H we have a key expression. Can you find it in H?
To cut a long story short.
To cut a long story short. Very good. And what's our category for cut? To cut a long story short. Our closer. Okay. Go. So if you go back to D, what's our key expression in D?
Indeed. Believe it or not.
Yeah, that's it. Believe it or not. Let's go over here. And what are we expressing with believe it or not?
Emphasis.
Yeah, it's right there at the top of the screen. Emphasis. Okay. Well, these should have been in the wrong order. I thought it was a little bit strange. Here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to tell me, I want you to think back to yesterday. I'd like you to tell me an anecdote of your own. It could be something simple. It could be something funny. All right? It doesn't have to be anything special, though. But what I would like you to do is to follow this structure to tell your story. Now, we're still doing this in the context of business, networking, and mingling like we've been doing. Okay? But this is a socializing activity, so it doesn't have to be only business. In the next class, we'll try to put this together with our business skills like we did previously down here in networking, business, and mingling. But let's pick something. So, Lipe, what did you do yesterday? What did you do on Tuesday? Did you go to work? Are you studying? What did you do?
I am on vacation.
You were in a competition?
No, I am on vacation already.
Oh, you're on vacation. Sorry, I didn't hear.
Yeah. So,
Hi.
and I will travel in Saturday. So, I was packing my bag, my suitcase. Yes.
Okay, very good. So you're packing your bags.
Yes.
What happened when you were packing your bags? Did anything happen during that period of time? Anything. Could be interesting, could be boring, doesn't matter. Did anything happen when you were packing your bags?
I got hungry, so I went to the market
And what
to
happened
buy
when you went to the
some.
market?
There was a guy who was collect some food for charity,
Charity.
charity. Yes, charity.
Believe it or not, Lipe, you have everything you need to tell an anecdote. That's more than enough. If the guy collecting the food for charity was interesting, even better. But if not, you still have enough to tell your story. So, Lipe, using the expressions in blue, I'd like you to tell us that story again. You can add to it if you like, okay? But I
Okay.
want you to go in that particular order. Begin with an opener, give a little context, which is usually about the time it happened. It doesn't have to be way back when. Obviously, yesterday was not way back when. But you can give a little time context using any of those expressions at the top of the page, the previous page, or you can add one of your own. And the rest of them, probably you can use as you like. By the way, so you try it first. I might come in and make a little change to your story. A little change. Because I think in your story, if the guy collecting food isn't interesting in some way, it might not be a great anecdote. What did the guy actually do before you begin? Did he do anything interesting, or was he just standing there?
Uh, just stay there.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'd like you to make one change to your story.
Okay.
What person would you not expect to see collecting food at the market? Of all the people in the world, there are 7 billion to choose. What person would you least expect to see?
Uh, that I didn't expect to see. I
Exactly.
don't expect it. Yeah.
What person wouldn't you expect to see at the market?
Um, I guess uh, Angelina Jolie.
Of course. I want you to tell me about the time you saw Angelina Jolie at the neighborhood supermarket collecting food. Okay?
Okay. Okay. So can I be? Shall I
Go
begin?
for it. Please do.
Okay. I have a question. I have to use all the expressions in blue, right?
Yes, but you can change them. If you want to use a different one, you can. But what I really
Okay.
want is that you try to stick to this structure, if you can. Opener, context, action, emphasis, feeling, closer.
Okay. Um. So have I told you about the time when I was packing my bag and I got hungry and
No, you didn't
I,
tell us.
well, so I got hungry and I needed to go to the market because I don't have any food at home because uh, I I will travel. Okay,
Because
but
I was going to travel.
yeah, because I was going to travel. So um, when I arrived to the market, do sorry, believe it or not, I saw Angelina Jolie collecting some food for charity.
Wow. Who knew?
So I go there to her. I go
Next
to
is
her. I go
feeling.
to her.
Next is your. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. Continue. Continue.
Okay. Um, so I got there. I go to her and I takes autograph. Autograph. Signed.
Say again.
I
Repeat.
takes. So
Photograph.
when you yes photograph and I take a
Ah,
pic. Yeah, and I take a pic with her.
a picture.
A picture. Yeah.
Was it a
And I
selfie?
take a picture. Yes. I take a selfie with her. So I bought my food and I give her some food for charity too,
Very good.
and I finished my packing.
Don't forget to close.
Uh, okay, yes. Uh, I don't know how to use this.
So to cut a long story short, what's the result of meeting Angela Jolie? What's the result? Or what's the result of
Uh,
taking your selfie?
oh, uh, to cut a long story short,
Mm-hmm.
I I met Angelina Jolie,
And now I have
and
proof. Now I have proof. I have a picture.
yeah, and I have proof. Yes.
Absolutely. I'm going to say the story back to you. We have to stop the class, but I'm going to say the story back to you just to make a few corrections. And what I want all you people to do, you in the class, and there's a bunch of people watching as well, you can send me your anecdotes and I'll correct them. Send it to me through the Verbling chat window later. Not the chat window, the Verbling message system. And I can correct it and give it back to you. But Lipe, let me just say that story back to you with a few corrections. Hey, have I
Okay.
told you about the time when I had to pack and I got hungry and I didn't have any food? Did I tell you about that? Well, it was way back when I was living alone. I'm just going to add something here. I was living alone and I really didn't know how to cook very well, and I ran out of food because I was about to go on vacation. Um, anyway, I was rushing to the supermarket before it closed when all of a sudden I saw someone that I thought I recognized. And I walked up to this person collecting food for charity, and believe it or not, it turned out to be Angelina Jolie at the local supermarket. My jaw dropped. I couldn't believe it. Well, I was too shy to talk to her, so I went in, I bought some food, then I came back and I gave it to her, and she accepted it. And I asked her if I could take a picture, and she was like, sure. So we took a selfie together. Anyway, to cut a long story short, now we're dating, and Brad Pitt is a little bit jealous. That's my story. Are they still together?
Mhm.
I don't keep up on gossip. I don't know if they're still together. Okay, listen. As you can see, I went through all the points. I added a little bit at the end because, to cut a long story short, should get to some, you know, there should get to the main purpose of the story or something unexpected, a little bit of a twist. Okay, I want you to try it on your own as a writing.
Yes, I've put my story in the verbal chat, teacher.
Okay, so
You
I'll
can see
correct
that.
it and get back to you. I've got to
Lot
start the
of
next
lot of
class,
mistakes. Lot
so
of
I'll be back
mistakes.
in just a minute for the business class. Stick around.